Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your week. We got a lot to talk about here as we move through the next several days. Let's look at our key messages. Sunny, dry for the rest of the week. New drought monitor is going to be released Thursday. Probably gonna at least keep things where they are with much of the state in severe drought, even parts of the state in extreme drought. Don't buy into the wet weekend narrative that's floating around. This is going around social media, these sites that what they do is they take a computer model run and they find the one, or they look at the last 5 or 6 over the last day or two and they go, all right, which one's the wettest or which one has the wildest look? They grab that, they put that as their main image and say, look, something's happening. Well, yeah, something is happening. It's the weather, okay? There's always something happening. This is not what we need just yet. What's setting up this weekend? The pattern change is trying to happen, but it's not there. And this idea of a wet weekend for the Lowcountry is just not right yet. Notice I say yet. Let's show you what's going on. Here's our upper air pattern. Ridge remains over the southeast. It's a ridge of high pressure. That's what's been keeping us so dry and so warm generally here over the past couple of weeks. This is going to be sunny and dry for the rest of the week, and it's going to be warming up. Now this weekend, notice that little squiggly gray line? That's the jet stream. We're the star, okay? We're the star. Squiggly line is the jet stream. Notice that changes a little bit between what we have midweek and what we have over the weekend. There it is, midweek, weekend. Midweek, weekend. All right, the jet stream's trying to drop farther south. That means some more amplification. Remember about a week ago, I talked about Sinlaku coming up through the Pacific and how it would get absorbed into the jet stream. And that could be enough to really just dislodge some things and get this thing to change up a bit. Well, it looks like that's happening. We figured that would be about around the 25th or so. Well, here we are, 26, 27. See, that looks a little bit different. All right. Now, as we move into next week, it changes even more. Look at that dip coming down. Okay. The jet stream's a little farther to the south, a little closer to us. That may be just enough to get some changes in here where we get some rain opportunities. But it's still too early to get hopeful because I've seen this before. I've seen this move around a bit before. But at least there are some signs that things are trying to shift around, all right? But let's not get caught up in this idea that this weekend is going to be a drought buster, or at least it's going to be wet, because it's not at all. All right. Today's high in the mid-70s, northeast winds 5 to 10, 59 for 9 o'clock, 71 noon, 75 at 3, and sunny. Just a gorgeous day today. Tomorrow looking good too, low 80s, mid-80s Thursday and Friday as we're warming up, moving into the weekend. Saturday in the upper 80s. Sunshine, some clouds moving in later on. Notice put a probability of rain about 20% in there. And then Sunday at about 30%. These are not big rain chances. And all I got to do is remind you of about a week ago this time, if you were looking at your apps on your phones, they were showing 50, 60% probabilities of rain for this past Sunday. We can get a drop. I mean, I think there may have been a sprinkle in Berkeley County, but I was looking at the radar all afternoon Sunday, and I never saw anything that made me go, is this even reaching the ground? If you did, maybe you got a little lucky, but it didn't do anything more than just wet the windshield. That's pretty much it. So that's why I'm saying be cautious about looking at these computer model generated forecasts showing 50, 60, 70 probability of rain here, because it's just not there. The air's too dry. The pattern's too dry. Remember that ridge, it hasn't given up control yet. And until it does, we're not going to see appreciable rain. That may happen soon, but it's not this weekend. Here's this weekend's weather map. The European showing a pretty decent probability of rain across the upstate, the Midlands, but for us here in the Lowcountry, scattered showers, isolated to scattered showers and some thunderstorms, with the greatest coverage being overnight Saturday and Sunday, and even then, we're not talking about much. I mean, these are our expected rain totals, and this would be on average 0.1 to 0.2 inches. Notice I said 0.1, not 1, 0.1 to 0.2 across most of the state. A few may see a bit more. Many may see less. It's just going to be where you are. Hopefully you get lucky and you get underneath some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms, and you can give the sprinklers and the garden hoses a little bit of a break. But I just wouldn't get too confident on that right now. I just don't think the pattern's there for some appreciable rainfall. If we do see rain, it won't last long, and it shouldn't be enough to wreck any major plans. If you have to move inside very quickly, you move inside very quickly, and then you're probably going to go back about your business. It won't be anything that lasts terribly long for us here across the lower part of the state. That's how it looks now. Of course, I'll continue to watch it for you as we move through the week. If we need to make adjustments, we will. But I am a firm believer of if you don't have sufficient evidence to make a change, don't make the change. And we don't have sufficient evidence yet to make the change in the forecast and in what we're seeing as far as the overall pattern is concerned. So we're going to leave it alone. I'm going to go with a drier forecast for Saturday and Sunday. Right now, rain probability 30%. 3 out of 10 probability that you see rain Saturday night into Sunday. Okay? All right, that's it for now. If anything changes, of course, I'll let you know, and I'll be updating you through the week as we get closer to this. And hopefully we can get some focus on this upcoming pattern change. With that, have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you around.